Good morning, everybody. It's me, Marsha Easley, here with Coffee, Tea, and Conversations. My co-host, Mary Evans, couldn't be here today, so you're stuck with me. And boy, do we have a good topic today. But first, let's take a break, a commercial break.
At Pontiac Meals on Wheels, our community-based service provides fresh, nutritious meals delivered directly to the homes of seniors and individuals with disabilities throughout the city. Meals on Wheels is happy to have partners that support our mission and vision. Pontiac Meals on Wheels depends on the generosity of many individuals, companies, foundations, and organizations to help provide nutritious meals and support services to the 400-plus homebound individuals we serve each year. Your gifts truly make a difference in their lives and their ability to remain living independently in the comfort of their own homes.
All right, we're back. So today we're going to talk about a subject that's very close and near and dear to my heart, and that's autism. And it's going to be my story about autism. And I see Donna Brown. Good morning, Donna Brown. Good morning. Good morning to everybody out there in Facebook land. So like I said, we're going to talk about autism. So I've had autism shows before, but today we're going to make it a little more personal. Now, if you don't know what autism is a developmental disorder. And what it does is it's the way people with autism think differently. They think in a whole different box than most people do. And it's called the autism spectrum syndrome because there's so many different people on the spectrum. You have high functioning, you have low functioning, you have verbal, you have nonverbal. So that's why it's called a spectrum. So you might have heard of Asperger's. That's another syndrome in the autism umbrella. And that's where the more high functioning individuals fall. So today we're going to talk about my story. And my story is I'm Marsha. I have a son who was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3, about 3.5. Juan was a very normal growing up as a baby. He was just the cutest little thing, a very happy baby. He did all the regular things that babies do, you know, the cooing and the smiling. He was very happy. He smiled all the time. He didn't complain. You know how most babies just cry. He just didn't cry a lot. He was so I said, well, I got a really great baby here. He's perfect. So and just takes us out at 6 months old. And people think I'm kidding, but I have witnesses because people used to have us perform this. He could sing. Well, he couldn't sing it, but he would hum the tune to the Jeopardy song. I mean, every beat, every he knew it. And it was just, to me, I like, well, that's special. You know, he's 6 months old. What does he know about that? I watched Jeopardy, so he heard the song. But to hear a baby mimic that at 6 months old, it was kind of funny to me. So so he did a lot of things. At 9 months, he was walking. He walked very early. But then when he got to be like 3.5, I started noticing different things about him. Yes, look at that. I noticed different things about him. And it was, I would talk to him and he wouldn't respond. And I would be like, Juan. And I would talk and he wouldn't respond. And so, good morning, Tea and Talk. So I thought he had a hearing problem. So I took him to the doctor and the doctor, you know, checked him out. Hearing is everything good. So they sent me to a specialist. And so the specialist, they did they put the rods on his head and did the brain scan and everything. And that's when I found out he was diagnosed that he had autism. Now at this point, he's 3.5. Juan could read. He could read words that I couldn't even pronounce. He could write, you know, he could write his letters. He knew his alphabet. He could, you know, and this is stuff, you know, the regular things I taught him, but he can do things above and beyond the things that I taught him. So it was incredible. But he also, at this time when he was diagnosed, he became less verbal. He would say what he wanted to say, but he wasn't doing the conversations. Hey, Vana, that's his auntie Vana out in California. She said he's so cute. Vana's also a great autism mom. She has 2 boys on the spectrum. So we've been a support system to each other. So anyway, he went to school when he was 4. He was a little late getting potty trained, but he was potty trained at 4. But I thought he was a little slow, but most get potty trained around 3, but he was about 4. So, most time when you go to school, you have to be potty trained. So he was able to go to school at 4. And at first they tried to put him in schools that where kids were more physically disabled than mentally. And I didn't see Juan thriving in that type of environment. So we shopped around and we found a school in Birmingham, Michigan. And if you aren't from here, that's a very affluent neighborhood to live in. And they allowed him to be in there. So he was bused from my house every day. And he just thrived there. But even there, he had some challenges. First of all, he was the only African-American young man there. When he got a little older, a couple of more African-American young men came in there into the school, but they always wanted Juan to be the example. They always wanted to be example because Juan was smart. If they were singing the song, Juan is singing it the loudest and he's got every word down. He was just incredible. So I had to always, the whole time I had him, I had to be challenged and challenged and challenged and challenged. And I had to challenge the system. And I wanted him to be challenged because I got Juan into band when he was in the 5th grade at there. And it's like, we never had a kid with autism in the band. I'm like, okay, let's try it. So when Juan got in the band, he played the xylophones, which is not a very easy instrument to play. Once he learned how to read the music, he could read the music. It could be pages of music. He could do it by heart. He didn't have to look at the music anymore. Incredible. So that's some of the things you see with children that are diagnosed with autism. Some of them have just really amazing talents. So what I wanted to do today was bring Juan on, because a lot of time people talk about autism, you hear about autism, but you don't really see a lot of the people who have autism. Now I'm gonna warn you, Juan is not a big speaker. Juan is so brutally honest, but I want him to come on here and let's talk to Juan for a minute and hear something about Juan. Come on over here, Juan. Say hi to okay, you need to come over a little bit more. Get a little closer to mama. All right, there you go. Say hi to Facebook one thing, Juan.
Hey, Facebook Juan.
Okay, so this is Juan. Juan, tell them how old you are.
31.
He's 31 years old. And Juan, where are you currently living?
Washington.
So why did Juan has been living in a support house, not a group home, but a house where him and 2 other roommates live. And they have a support system, and the support people are there to take them to their jobs, make sure they take meds if they need meds, take them to the store, take them shopping. They have to sign their own lease. They have to pay their own bills. They're responsible for everything. So this was Juan's decision to leave. Because me being a mom, I really thought that Juan was going to be me all the rest of my life. I never in my wildest dreams thought that Juan would ever be, out of my house. But this is something he came to me and said, do you remember when you told me you want to leave?
2016.
Oh, he told me a date, 2016. Okay. And why did you want to be in your own place, Juan?
Because I was happy here.
You was happy here, but why did you want to be in your own place? Why did you want to leave me, mama?
So I can do better things.
Okay, so he wanted to do, but he had in his mind. Once he had his mind made up, Juan stuck with it, and he was like, really. Tea and Talk said, "Hey, Juan."
Yeah.
Okay, he says, "Hey," and we got a lot of people saying, "Hey, thanks everybody for listening in and trying to see a little bit of our story." So, Juan, right now you have a job, right?
Yeah.
And where do you work?
Over.
Culver's is a restaurant here, and what do you do there?
We clean up surfing.
Okay, so he's a server and he cleans up. So, is that the job you want to do for the rest of your life?
Well, actually, I want to move to a better job.
What kind of job would you like? What is your dream job, Juan? What would you really like to do for a job?
Go to Best Buy or hang out at Sunset Mall.
You want to? He said, go to Best Buy and hang out at Somerset Mall. But don't you have another thing that you like to do that you really like to do?
Camera.
he likes to do that camera work. He loves to do camera. So Juan, me and Juan took classes, and we took classes at the Waterford Media Center, and that's the cable network for Waterford. And we took the classes, and Juan caught on so quick on how to do the camera work. And so he's been called, they call him all the time to go on sites and record things. What kind of things have you done with the camera, Juan? What have you recorded?
I've done sports,
Theaters, parades.
Yeah.
So he has credits. All right, his name comes up on the credits when any of these things are televised. So I mean, this is something that he really, really have got attached to doing. So I think that's pretty incredible. What else can we talk about, Juan? Anything you want to? What bothers you, Juan? Do you know? Okay, let me go back a little bit. Do you understand that you have autism?
Yeah.
Okay, so he knows he has autism, but as far as, do you know what autism is? What do you think autism is?
Autism is something good, something you do things right.
You do what now?
You do everything right.
Okay, you do everything right. He says you do everything right. I tell you one thing, they are brutally honest. That's for sure. They don't lie. It's very rare that you meet a person with autism that lies. So that's sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But one thing is communication. They don't talk a lot. They don't like to talk a lot. Juan is very doesn't communicate a lot, but he can write. He can write letters, pages of letter with the best diction, the best pronunciation, the best handwriting. He's an excellent writer, so he expresses himself better in writing things. You agree with that, Juan?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now you have roommates. How do you and your roommates get along?
Terrible.
He says terrible. So Juan doesn't like to be bothered with people, and he has roommates that are pretty rambunctious. I'm put that for the lack of saying a better word. And Juan is kind of laid back. So when he's around people who are loud and cause disturbance stuff, that really bothers him. So is that one of the things about what really bothers you a lot? What bothers you the most about life?
Loud noises.
Loud noises. So he's very sensitive to loud noises. So let me tell you, he used to get on me like, I'm a grown woman. I would come in 2:00 in the morning and he would set me out. I'm trying to sleep. What are you doing coming in at 2:00 in the morning? I'm like, okay, why? So he would really get on me about that. So, and then he likes to be downstairs a lot. So if I'm walking around upstairs, that kind of stuff really disturbed him. So, some of the things we have to deal with, we have to have the conversations. And this is really stuff that people need to know. Being an autism mom is very humbling. And everybody out there who has been around people with autism, have autism in your family, it's a very special condition. So I had to trick Juan into going to California with me. I go to California every year, and I go to these really great star-studded, that's us in California, and we go to these really great events, and it's the autism fundraisers for Holly Robinson Pete's fundraiser. That's Nancy Oswald Jackson. There go Juan with Holly, and we volunteer and we do amazing things. That's Nancy Oswald Jackson. She has her own organization with Autism Act, and we used to go. I got him to go there, so I did get him to go, and that's my son Vana's son. Listen to me, my friend Vana's son Carter, and he's also diagnosed with autism. So when we go to California, he gets to meet. That's Juan with Cody Lee right there. Cody Lee won America's Got Talent, so he's got to meet so many people. They really love him when he comes to volunteer. Those are our friends, Magic and Cookie Johnson. They love Juan. They make sure they look out for him when he's there in California also. So Juan has had a great time. Like I said, I had to trick him because he didn't want to go to California. He don't like airplanes. So I had to trick him and say, I'll take you to Universal Studios if you go. And he was like, okay, no excitement. So the funny part, another funny story, like when I asked him, so he goes to Magic Johnson House, he goes to Universal Studios, he goes to star-studded events there. So I asked him, what was your best part about California? And he said, what did you tell me? Universal Studios. He said meeting the Simpsons or something like that. I'm like, okay. But it's kind of cool. So as you can see, Juan smile sometimes. Juan had to smile. But I just wanted you to meet Juan and know that people with autism are very special and that they like to communicate. Juan loves to party. Juan loves to go to dances. Juan shuts down parties when he goes to a party. Now, Juan, do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Do you want to have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to get married?
No.
No. You want to have kids?
No.
Why you don't want to have kids?
Because it's bad.
He gets stuff from my grandkids. He said because they're bad. So that's from being around my I guess my grandkids. Okay, that's a good thing though. If anybody needs some kind of thing to not have kids, bring them around my grandkids. And they're like, I don't want to have kids anymore. Anyway, but so they have their mind made up. I don't know. So that's why I wanted to bring Juan on. I did want you guys to see him. Are you done? Anything else you want to say to the Facebook people?
Yeah. I play games a lot. Okay. I got the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One. I play Mortal Kombat a lot, Smash Brothers, and yeah. I was gonna download an app for dating sites on my phone, but also I like to.
We're not doing dating sites on the phone, Juan. That ain't happening. We're gonna figure out something different because those can be kind of dangerous.
Okay.
So that's the thing we have to do because when these guys they want girlfriends, they want to date, they want to do other stuff, and you have to be very careful, because they are grown men, and we can't watch them and monitor everything that they do. So, but we have to find ways for them to be able to meet females, and so that's as a mom, that's like really close to my heart too, and trying to figure out something on that end. Before COVID, I did have the opportunity to give a Christmas dance, right before COVID, and to bring people together. So I wanted to do that more. I got with Mary Evans and her the place she had back then, 7 North, but we had made plans to have a series of game days and dances and things like that there, but then COVID hit and everything got shut down. So we're on the process of trying to rebuild and have those types of activities resume. So you ready to go on, or you want to stay here with me while I keep talking?
I'll stay here.
Oh, okay. I thought he was about to, because I'm not going to talk too much more. I just want to let you guys know that autism, especially in the Michigan area, in our Pontiac area where we live, I live in Waterford, the Pontiac area, we have a very big autism community. And we need donations to make things work for autism. Nothing is cheap. That's my foundation. I have the Inspirational Spectrum Heroes that I am the CEO and founder of. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that we have programs available and I want to be the informant. I want to make sure I share things that I did and what I went through. I want to give back so other people don't have to guess or do things on their own. My biggest emphasis on once they become adults, because once they become adults, they really get lost in the system. The system kind of throws them away. There's so many opportunities when they're still in school, but once they're out of school, there are not that many opportunities. They pretty much stay at home. Some of them get jobs. And like Juan doesn't really like the job yet, but it's a job for now. So we need to get the training, the more employers to bring them in. I'm really going to be working with some newscasters and sport people, try to get Juan into one of the Fox Sports or something, and because he loves sports, and to get him on a camera crew somewhere. So that's some of the things I'm working on. But as they become adults, what do? Children with autism grow up to be adults with autism. There are a lot of them, 1 in 59, and the stats keep growing. We have to address the autism community. Another thing that's going to be happening is I'm working on getting special need trust set up for Juan. And once I get that set up, I'm going to spread that to other people, let them know, because if something happened to me, what's going to happen to him when I'm gone? If something happens to me, because he gets Social Security, state takes over. So you have to get these programs involved. So if anybody has any connections, I'm going to be trying to partner with a lot of different organizations to help me out with this, because it's very important. It's not we want to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about, oh, when I die. But that's why it's very important to get your wheels and these trusts together, especially if you have a special needs person in your life. So what else we want to talk about, Juan? Anything else we want to need to talk about?
Moving out.
He's trying to move out, so that's all that's where his head is right now. He's trying to get a new house with Vana Tierra. Aunt Vana says, "Does Juan want a car?"
Yeah.
You want a car? Okay. So what do you have to do to get a car?
You gotta go to driving school.
Yes. So
test.
Yeah. So are you going to do that? Are you going to take the initiative and go and see if you can pass the driver's test?
Yeah.
Okay. He's been talking about that for a minute. There are lots of people with autism who drive. It's a lot of things that we don't think they can do, but you got to get outside. You got to think outside the box. Like they said, he couldn't play an instrument. He did the instrument and he killed it. He killed the instrument. So we really have to do a lot of things. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Tien Talk says, could you create a web page just for autistic individuals so they could have their own sense of a dating page? Just a thought. Which one could then utilize his photography or camera skills? Ooh, that would be a great idea. I like that. But let me tell you, not autistic people made up with autistic people, but that is a start, because it could be open up to anybody who would like to interact with people with special needs and stuff. So that's really a great idea. I like that. Vana Tier says, ask him about music. Vana wants to ask you about music.
I like hip hop and pop and rock and stuff.
You like music. So music is one of the things that he also likes besides sports and watching TV. And because, when I saw him watching that TV and get how fast he was to learn how to do computers and navigate a computer, that's how we got him into. I said, let's take this class with cameras. So, don't just let your autistic, your special needs, your whatever their impairment may be, don't just let them sit at home. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to let them get out on their own, because Juan, once he got on his own, I saw a different Juan, because he was, he was cranky. He was mean, especially as they get older, because their body develops, and they bodied up and they get urges. They get things they want to do, and they don't want to be listening to mama or doing mama daddy rules and stuff like that. So you got to think about outside the box. And he doesn't play music anymore, Vana. I've been trying to she asked that, why doesn't he play music anymore? Juan got out of band when he was in high school because he had the option of doing gym or band. So Juan chose gym. So that's when he started getting out of music. I'm really trying to encourage him to start back up, because he was really a virtuoso with it. I mean, he was very talented. So I'm really trying to encourage him. I know I'm gonna have to promise him something to get him to do it, but I have to do what I want to do, because I think he would be great at it. Will you think about doing music again? He said probably. Oh, that's good. Well, he also took drum lessons. So Juan's got a lot of talent. So, and your children out there, your adults out there, they have talents too. I really want not to stay on this too long, because on April 13th, I'm doing another autism show, and you have to do it. That's a Tuesday at 7 p.m. And I'm going to have some autism moms who are heavy hitters out there in the world, the country, not just in my world, all over. So you're going to want to make sure you turn in on April 13th at 7 p.m. because April is Autism Month. So this is my pre-autism show. April 2nd is World Autism Day. So you're going to see a lot of stuff about autism in the month of April. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I could tell you all kind of stuff about autism, but I want to save some of that stuff for the April 13th show. If you want, are there any more remarks that we should share before we get off of here? Got anything else? I'm just looking at some of the things that people put in there. I think we kind of did that. Anything else, Alexis, that we need to address as far as anybody's remarks? Okay. All right. So we're good then. So anyway, I want to thanks. Okay. Vana said when we coming to Cali. Vana, you talking about me or you talking about Juan? Because I'm ready to go like tomorrow. Juan, I don't know. Juan, are you gonna come back to California? Go back to California?
Yeah.
He said he guessed. So, you know, he really did a great job. I remember one more little story when we was at Hollyrod. Hollyrod, they had seatings for all the, you know, all the celebrities and everything. And they had name tags on the seats. So we didn't have a seating chart. So Juan's job was to seat the celebrities. Everybody else was having a hard time trying to find people to seat. But Juan looked at them seats one time and he was like, oh, I got this. He was taking it right to their seats. So I was like, they was loving Juan. Juan was killing it. Juan kills it every time. He does everything without complaining, which is really good. So I'm looking forward to when they can start all this stuff back up. We got to get rid of this COVID, and we got to think of stuff outside the box for these children with autism with COVID. I can't even imagine what people with little children with autism are doing at home when they can't go into a building and get that interaction. So anyway, I'm going to be signing off. I'm thinking that this was a good show. I'm glad you got to see the face of autism in person. This Mr. Juan Hall. He is my inspiration. He is the reason why I am an autism advocate. I became a great art mom. I call myself a great art mom because I think I am. And he inspires me and he humbles me. And I'm just really glad that I have him. So I'm going to sign off for now with my coffee and my tea. I got tea, remember, but this is Coffee, Tea, and Talk with in conversation. Marsha, Mary Evans. Mary Evans will be back next week. And I'm going to be signing off for now. Tell everybody bye, Juan.
Bye.
Bye-bye.